My name is Mia, and I was 11 years old when this story took place. My mom worked 3 jobs, so I would often be left home alone with my mama and papa. One day, my mom brought this old antique clock home from work because they were just gonna throw it out. It was one of those clocks where you had to have a special key and twist it for however many days you wanted it to go off. My mom had set the clock to go off at 6 o'clock every morning and every night. She figured it would help me wake up for school in the morning because it was so loud. But soon summer break came, so we didn't have a reason to wind it up anymore. One night, I got up around 3 in the morning to get a glass of water. Once I got my glass of water, I looked down the hallway to see somebody walking into the bathroom. I assumed it was either my mother or one of my grandparents, so I went back to bed. The next night, the clock went off at 3 a.m. I was confused as to why it was going off at 3 a.m. because I hadn't touched it. I couldn't have. I'm simply too short to reach it, and I didn't think my mom would wind it up at 3 a.m. The scary thing about it was I would see a dark shadow in the corner every night standing in front of my closet. At first, I was afraid of it, but I soon got used to it because I just assumed it was my imagination, so I would just ignore it and lay back down and try to go back to sleep. One night, the clock went off at the usual time, but there was something off about this particular night. First off, it was super cold, which was odd because it was always warm in my room, especially in the summer. Second, I was laying on my left side, and I always sleep on my right. And third, I was wide awake. I just brushed it off and rolled over, but as soon as I did, I felt my heart stop because what I saw next scared me for life. I saw a face looking at me with ruby red eyes and long fingers rested on my bed. I screamed and kicked and ran to the living room crying. Once I got to the light switch at the other end of the hallway, I looked behind me, and at the end of the hallway, I saw the silhouette of a man who had to be about 7 feet tall. I turned on the light and it disappeared, but as soon as I did, I got a horrible nosebleed. The next morning, I thought I would clean my room because my mom would be mad if I didn't. Even though I was scared because of what happened the night before, I was more afraid of my mom scolding me about a messy room. So I put my hair in a ponytail, put in my headphones, and started cleaning. It wasn't long before I felt somebody tug on my hair, enough to pull my head back. I assumed it was my mom trying to get my attention, so I took my headphones out, turned around, only to see the glass of water on my nightstand fly across the room and hit the mirror behind my door. I finally had enough and told my mom. She decided to get some sage and saged me and our entire house. She also poured some salt in front of all of the windows and doors. The next morning, when my mom and I woke up, all of the windows and doors were open, along with the cabinets, and all the water running in both the kitchen and the bathroom sinks. When we went outside, one of our pet ducks was missing, and my chicken roo was dead. That day, the clock fell off the wall, and the place where you put the key broke, so you can't wind it up anymore. I'm now 16 years old, and I no longer live in that house, but every now and then I'll see the shadows. I've never been much of a religious person, but I always carry a cross due to this incident. And that clock still remains in that house to this very day.